All right, well, welcome back to another episode of News from the Heart with Swami Chaitananda, and I'm kind of excited today to get your take on a comment I heard from the neighborhood.
Okay.
So, we're a meditation center, the Movement Center here in Portland, Oregon, but I found out recently that a person had considered coming here. She considers herself a spiritual person, apparently. She's a healer, a massage therapist in our neighborhood, and had checked us out through the website and various sources. And her reason for not coming here, from what I understand, is that we seem a little dogmatic, and she wants to believe that you can be spiritual and have a spiritual practice, but that maybe we take things a little too seriously here, or that she enjoys, and the only word I heard is partying and having a good time, and maybe that laid back, have fun kind of nature wouldn't be a good fit.
Well, I think there's no practice program that's right for everybody. And in fact, the whole experience of liberation is not something that everybody is ready to embrace. Our Guru Nityananda was a person who was completely, totally dedicated to his sadhana. To the degree that, he only practiced in his life. That's all he ever did. And he said, anyone who thinks too much about the body isn't going to be liberated. They're just going to be continuously entangled in the chemistries of the body. He was an astonishing person. I mean, actually, to refer to him as a person is maybe not to explain him, because it's so rare that you would find anyone who, could live the life of extreme simplicity that he lived.
He didn't even care if he ate or not, much less
Right.
had a good time.
Right. So his good time, was the bliss of the self.
I certainly see you practicing extraordinary amounts of your time, but I've also seen you sit back and relax and enjoy the company of friends.
Right. For me, I met Rudy in New York, and Rudy also was very focused on working. Rudy felt like work was really necessary to begin the process of breaking down accumulated misunderstanding and accumulated brainwashing, if you want to call it, that is the predominant experience of people in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
So we worked. When you really feel you need to make a change, the easiest and most effective way to begin is to start moving your body on a regular basis. And, working in the world was a way that we both moved our bodies and also took care of our livelihood, our financial circumstance. We ate and paid our rent from working in the world. So that was where we started. And then on top of that, we did yoga, and we have a meditation practice. And the meditation practice we have is very strong practice.
So is there validity to that comment then? And maybe she's
validity.
right? Is it, maybe we are a little, if someone's not ready to be that serious.
Dogmatic is the wrong word to use, because, the last thing we are is dogmatic.
Okay.
I would say that the first thing we are is committed, and maybe we're a little too committed to our practice for her, and that's just fine. She has her own agendas that she needs to fulfill in order to come to a place where she experiences that it is time for her to make a change. And when that time comes, then hopefully there will be some support for her in making the change that she needs to make.
And that was the interesting thing to me, is I feel like you have created a center and a place that is completely available to people at any wherever they are on that path.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like when I came here I was told if I don't do it this way and this many times, then there was come once a week, come to just this type of meditation or this.
The capacity to experience that extremely simple but completely profound Kundalini breath of life pulsating within us. The very center of gravity that compels the cells to come together and organize themselves in specific patterns. That breath of life within us. To be able to feel that takes some discipline. And to have a model that really allows you to successfully carry on a long-running experiment, it takes some effort. It just takes some effort.
Yeah.
And if you are going to put playing over work, if you value playing more than you value work, and you don't see the point of making the effort to create a model and then cultivate some deep understanding of yourself, I say, go knock yourself out. Do whatever it is that you feel like doing. I mean, personally, I grew up I graduated high school in 1966, that's 50 years ago. I grew up in the 50s and 60s. I grew up to rock and roll. I grew up to playing football and basketball. I wrestled in high school as well, then I swam.
And you did some partying?
I did some partying for sure. And I came to a place when I was 21 where I was sitting in a bar waiting to meet my friends and party some more. And I realized, sitting in that bar, smelling the smells and hearing the sounds, that everything that could ever possibly happen for me at a party or in a bar had already happened. And, if I wanted to continue to do the same thing over and over again for the duration of my life, I can stay there. And I chose to get up and leave. And I've never been in a bar since. And it isn't that I haven't partied. Of course, I have been to parties. I enjoy a glass of wine.
Or listening to good music or watching beautiful art. Or
Yeah, I mean, there's no end to the amount of beauty that I can, that I am open to and actually reaching to experience. But to just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again is like a giant waste of a life, if you ask me. And more importantly, turning away from that bar and acknowledging for myself that the life that I was looking out to from that bar was not a life that was ever going to truly make me happy. And that partying is an extremely superficial way to reach for happiness that is never going to truly succeed. What you're going to do is end up destroying your health and being miserable. So at that point, I had to say to myself, there has really got to be a better way. And the only thing I knew to do at that point was, I started practicing yoga. And really I changed my diet at that point. I stopped drinking. I started being a vegetarian. I started practicing yoga regularly and then teaching it. And I met Rudy. And meeting Rudy, I experienced within myself a joy and a love that was completely then and remains undescribable. And that meeting, inspired me to completely change myself. And with Rudy's, advice and support, I worked really hard. And, in his passing, I took that experience and continued to try to develop it within myself. It's true that I have some lofty goals, and I'm completely good with that. And I have nothing to say about people who don't have lofty goals. Have whatever goals you want. It's no problem to me. The Movement Center exists as a place to support people in whatever change it is that becomes apparent to them that they need to make, to whatever degree it is they want to make it. And, I don't push people to practice. I mean, I used to encourage people to practice, and I used to encourage people not to make a lot of stupid choices that they went on to make anyway. And now I don't bother. If people want to go make stupid choices, that's fine with me.
You provide an environment for them when they're ready to make
Some intelligent choices, and even then, it's no guarantee. So.
And if they want to come here 1 or 2 nights a week and then go out and do the other things they're doing, you make that's possible.
So we'll close this discussion by reminding you that I have a saying that I really like that is from Jalaluddin Rumi, who was the great founder of Sufi saint and founder of the
I thought it was hanging on the wall.
Mevlevi dervishes. And that there was a sign that he had carved in wood hung over the door to his center. And the sign said, "Come to the Semna," Semna being their practice, "come again. Even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times, come. Ours is not a caravan of despair."
This is great. I hope that if any of you out there had been thinking similar thoughts to the comment that I'd gotten, that you maybe got a little bit out of that. If nothing else, that we're not as dogmatic as I think from the outside sometimes people perceive it to be. And it's simply about coming here from wherever you are and giving it a try. And from my experience as someone who also has done plenty of partying in my life and enjoyed being out and socializing, and I've found more pleasure on a Friday night coming here than I ever got in any bar anywhere in my life, and I've been in plenty of them.